All right, another video today, but a video in response to a question that somebody commented. So I did that, how do you practice stuff in all 12 keys, or what do I do it? And I kind of went through my process in that. And then the question is from this person, Walker Whitehouse. So thank you for commenting. The question was, how do I balance working stuff out in all 12 keys with the other stuff that I'm practicing? That's a great question. At this point in my life, I don't necessarily just go through and I'm not saying this is right or wrong. This is just for me. I don't go through a series of things. So long tone, scales, technique, close. I'll do a lot of that, but the majority of the practice time when I pick up the horn on a daily basis would be a long tone exercise to get my face warmed up. So either the hinge, that one that's goes all the way down to, so D, I start on D and then all the way down to low D finally. I might do that one, or I do a long tone exercise that I think was, I saw with Dr. Wally Wallace on that Saxophone Academy, where he has one, I can't remember the name of it, something zero, but it starts on a low B flat. So that low B flat's like the first note that you play in the day, and just to kind of set your face. That's a great exercise too. So usually one of those two. I might do some Carmine Caruso long tone exercises that brass players would do. But they would be long tone exercises. And I do those for about 5 minutes just to get my face warmed up. And then I might do maybe a couple of scale exercises. Maybe I saw Adam Larson had this great one that I done this. Obviously, I need to do that one more and figure it out. But that little scale exercise to get the fingers going, but maybe not. So always a long tone exercise, and then normally I just go right to playing tunes. And within me playing a tune, I'm not playing the tune in all 12 keys, by the way. I'm just playing, just trying to play. Maybe I'll come across something that I'm playing that I like a line that I like. Ooh, okay, that would be kind of cool. I need to work that through in all 12 keys. So I'll think about it numerically, what it was, play it through a bunch of times in the one key, and then work it through in the other keys. And that can be kind of what my practice session is like. Now, more recently, I've been trying to take tunes through all 12 keys, but historically, over the last, 10, 15 years or so, it's more along the lines of what I just said. I'm working on a tune, I might come across something, I'm just trying to play, come across something that I like, and then work that through all 12 keys. When you work stuff through all 12 keys, you're working on multiple intelligence levels. I have no research to back this up, by the way, but you're thinking along the lines of numerically, how does it fit in the harmony? You're training your ear, certainly, because for me, I don't write them down. I don't write it down notation wise. I might write the numbers down, but I don't write it down notation wise. So I'm not looking at it. I'm really trying to build the muscle memory in my fingers, but use the aural to hear if I have a wrong note. And then just see theoretically, how does it fit into the harmony? So let me do one here. I'll just do a blues and then see if I can figure something out. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in there that I could take through all 12 keys. But let's just say for the first time, I heard this line, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. I mean, obviously I played that line a bunch, but what would I do? Well, I would take that through all 12 keys. I know that that line is basically 3, 5, 1, and then it goes to the 4 chord, 3, 5, 1, same thing. So I could do that then in all the keys, right? So forth and so on, okay? So maybe I play a line like this. Maybe I just come across that, I learn that little turnaround, and I'm thinking, oh man, that I was able to fit that in. Let me see if I can get that in all 12 keys. So I work it through. And obviously, what I did right now are things that I know. I know those. So they're easy. So please, you know, these are just for example purposes. But that's kind of what my practice sessions are more like. I just try to come across stuff that I like, that I play, that might be new, that I haven't worked through all 12 keys, and that's kind of what I do. And it really does function in a technical way. So like I'm working on technique, because I'll put it in various octaves. I might decide to do that line in an altissimo. You know, just to see if I can work it out. Anyway, so I'm working at all levels of the horn, different octaves and all that stuff. So the final answer to the question, like how much time do I spend working stuff in all 12 keys? Probably 90% of the time. But am I just doing tunes? No. At the end of the day, most of the tunes that I know in the standard keys. And I don't know that many tunes, by the way. But usually it's just in the standard keys. So like, if I'm working Cherokee through, that's specifically more like etudes for me. I'm just trying to get my fingers wrapped around playing in those different keys, like E and B and A and all the stuff that we don't normally play in. A flat, D flat. But, you know, that's kind of where I am. So about, 10% long tones and 90% working stuff in keys, but not total tunes, just lines and just like 2/5 licks or 3/6 2/5 licks or other kinds of arpeggio things that I'll work through. Like for example, maybe a stacked triad, maybe something like a 1 major to a sharp 4 minor, like this sound. That kind of sound. And I'll try to play that through all different keys, and technically, though, it gives me a lot of different technique. So that's why I do it. So long answer to a short question, but that question was super loaded with, what do I do? How much of the practice do I spend in it? And the answer is a lot. A lot. And here's the other benefit of it, and then I'll be done. Playing in the different keys really does make it a lot more fresh. Like there are other ideas that come up when you end up going back to the original key. Because now you've got all this half step, tritone, all of this language that you can throw in to the original key that maybe you didn't have before. So there you go. All right, I'm going to keep practicing.